We're back again. If you had all the climaxes, I could say you really made me wait because that's the climax right before green starts. But we don't have that, so I don't get to use situational humor in that way. We're going to jump straight in. The first card, Makoto and Johanna. Wait, Johanna?
Depends.
It's Johanna in katakana. So,
Okay.
yeah. Queen. 3/2 10k. It's a 3/2 10k green. It is a clock kick. I'll say that now. During the turn, this is placed from hand to stage. When this reverses its opponent, you may discard a card. If so, put that character in clock. So that's a good start. And then when this becomes reversed in battle, wait. Is that right? When this becomes reversed?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
When this becomes reversed in battle, reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a character that's either Phantom Thief, Student Counselor, or Prosecutor, you may pay 1. If so, return this to your hand.
So the idea is it's a repeatable clock shooter?
It's a repeatable clock shoot that needs to die before it can be reused.
Which is awkward.
Now, my main well, I mean, there are synergies with this, but my main problem is it doesn't gain any power natively, so it's only a 10k. You need the 2/1 pro tag support, and that makes this a 13k. Well,
It's
only
probably
on
a 14.5 or 11.5 or 13. Yeah, whatever.
It'll be whatever. But that's good. There's also a Shimakaze Kai clone in this set, which can put this up to 12.5.
And you're probably gonna slam a climax.
You might slam
You
a
actually
climax, probably
don't.
not.
I don't think you want to.
Depends on what you're running at level 3.
You're usually not slamming a climax.
The 2/1 is with
Usually.
the shot, right?
Look, this card it has some neat synergies. So you can play it with the 2/1 pro tag support, and that gives it 13k on your turn base, and 10k on the opponent's turn. So there is a range where your opponent can kill you, or you can kill your opponent. However, a smart opponent just won't give you the chance to bounce this back. And a lot of the time, you don't even want to bounce this back. You'd rather just play a heal or something from your hand. The thing about this deck is you can splash green. I don't know if this is what you want to splash green for. I think it's one of the contenders. But at the same time, it's a very mediocre card if you don't have specifically the protagonist support on field.
It helps fix for green, and it is kind of a splash for green because it's a searchable clock kick, which is fine.
I mean, I have played decks where my only splash was 4 of a level 3 finisher.
Well, this is not your main finisher. This is something that's tacked on.
That's the thing, right?
But the card itself is fine. I don't think I've ever used the second effect, to be honest. It's just to come into play clock kick, that's pretty weak. But because of the support backline that you have, it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's fun support. You have to go out of your way to get the support because you don't always want it in every game. Unlike with say, well, my example is LB because LB you always have the anti-heal, so Sasami's basically always 13k, which is the same as this. And that is good. That's a valuable card to have, but I would still not rate it anything above playable plus.
Sure, I think playable plus is fair.
Playable plus.
I think playable is fine even.
I don't even think it's playable plus here. Sasami's playable plus, but she's a very different card.
Sasami?
Sasami's probably good. Sasami is the best clock kick in the game. One of
Still
the
in-
best not climax combo type clock kicks.
I think Penguin here likes Homura better, but I disagree.
Dude, Homer is the best non-climax type clock kick in the game. Let's be real.
Homura is...
No, I think
Sasami is better.
I think Sasami is better.
Wait, I remember Sasami's first effect was just being 2k bigger.
If you had 4 less cards in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, but... Okay, so this is whatever. Separate discussion, dude. But
Agreed.
opinions.
Oh,
man.
no, I have to disagree now. Sorry, my favorite clock kicker has got to be 2/2 Joj.
Be quiet.
Oh my
He's
goodness.
14k and kicks on both turns.
Do I have to silence you? I don't actually have that power.
No, the best clock kick is actually Devil Homura.
Can Devil Homer? Wait, Devil Homer can't even reverse Reinhardt, man.
I
Hard.
What
She
bad
can
guy.
with the level support and a climax.
And they're gonna back up Reinhardt. Oh, they're just gonna run away. Come on,
no,
man.
It's just gonna run away.
Nice double home run, dude.
no, but if you run away, you're not a bodyguard anymore.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well,
Still 20.
Downsides.
I mean,
Yeah.
they could still counter.
All right, moving on.
Just run like with your level 1 bombs, and then your homerize like 24k.
Haru and Milady, Noir. It's a 3/2 10k. When this is placed from hand to stage, you may heal, and when this is front attacked, you may pay cost, which is pay 2 and discard a card from hand, any card. If so, this gains the ability the character opposite this gets -2 soul.
Oh, whoops, that's the wrong.
In a vacuum, this card is super sweet, and I like it a lot. This also has the hidden effect of enabling one of your 2/1 advanced summons. So if this is in clock, then your 2/1 becomes gets -1 level in hand. I think this card is pretty.
I don't actually know anything about this, but it looks like Best Girl. Even we just had card games on motorcycles.
In a vacuum, this is a good card because it enables basically a 1/1/7/5, and which has a good climax combo, and it's just a fine card. It's a healer that also has a painless -2 soul option.
Yeah, -2 soul is substantially better than -1 soul.
Plus, you can wait until your opponent front attacks before giving the opponent -2 soul, which is a solid effect.
You don't get to wait till the trigger though, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Wait till their front attacks. Wait till they front attack. So
How
basically-
do? Because I can't remember. Is it active player, non-active player, or non-active player, active player?
active,
Active
non-active?
player, active, non-active.
Well, okay, so resolving active effects first, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all
I
relevant.
mean, this is a continuous effect anyway.
No, it's relevant because like if you're playing up against like Toma would have to decide if he wants to discard a pump soul before you would have to decide if you want to give it -2,
Yeah.
which is
I mean,
which is
Toma has
relevant.
his soul, so
I mean, Toma's gonna front this all day, every day. Toma's 12k. Toma doesn't care.
this is the worrying part about this is if you pay for the effect and your opponent triggers a win.
Oh, then you're so sad.
Mm.
You spent 4 stock and discarded a card to heal twice, or 6
This
stock
is-
to heal twice.
This is a continuous effect, which means your opponent doesn't actually have -2 soul. This card is bounced, which means a win trigger or any sort of bounce trigger or removal effect will remove the -soul effect. That being said, we're nitpicking. This card is perfectly serviceable, and if it weren't for a certain blue support, I think this would definitely have a place in the deck
Sure.
at a very healthy count.
I think it's just playable because of that. Like, I could see an argument for playing this if you, for some reason, dislike having to rely on climaxes at level 3.
I'm not sure you play this without playing the accompanying level 2, but even if you don't, this card is like fine. It's playable.
Yeah.
Like I think I'm gonna try this at 1 in the normal build. Like I've liked the card a lot in execution, like in combination with the blue support.
You actually make enough
are
stock for this
negating
card,
so
though.
much damage. What, you have enough stock?
Not in the regular builds.
Not if you want to use Joker.
Well, no, if you're using Joker, you obviously don't. But like Joker is not your go-to plan.
But Joker
Usually.
Joker is a card which you decide whether or not to use at the end of the turn.
Yeah. Sure.
So whether or not you played this during your main phase, like this is just a 10k heal other than this. It's
like,
worse than
but
just
you
an
go
up
into your level 3 turn expecting not to use Joker usually.
Yeah, you'd hope not, but this card is probably just fine. Like that's what I think.
Yeah.
Playable.
Alright.
Good input. Strategist, strategist, Phantom Thieves, Makoto. So I just want to point out this is Best Girl without knowing anything about P5. 001k. When this is placed from hand to stage, choose one of your characters with Phantom Thief, Student Council, or Prosecutor, and that character gains +1 level and 1k for the turn. And then it has the Mika and Clock Swap effect of discard a card from your hand when this is placed from hand to stage. If you do, choose a character in your clock with either Phantom Thief, Student Council, or Prosecutor, add it to your hand, and put the top card of your deck in the clock.
You're just saying that because she has a motorcycle is her persona.
Card games on motorcycles.
Wait. She has a motorcycle
Her
as a
persona
persona?
is a motorcycle. She's like Mitsuru, except sweet, because Mitsuru's motorcycle was not a persona.
This card is playable, I guess. I mean, it's costless hand fixing with slight power pump. I don't think the power pump is that.
It can
It
could be.
nice.
quite
It's
good
like-
with the level.
Oh yeah, I guess you can get an extra 1,000 power from the level X.
It'd be an extra 2k power because.
Well, yeah, because it's also giving 1,000 power. I guess. Card seems fine. Like it's playable. It's a costless hand fix and it power pumps.
It's probably
Yeah, I'm
playable
starting
plus or
several
And it
things.
fixes
plus, I think.
for color, which is important.
It's your easiest green fix.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's just playable. I don't know.
I actually think the standard builds start like I cut it completely because you have the Azusa that's just better, and like plusing a level can be a downside where you actually need it in the game. So like when you need it at level 1 it's bad because you can get anti-change. When you need it at 2 it's bad because you can get anti-change. And when you're
At level 1, nobody anti-changes you at level 1.
yeah, but if you get anti-change from this card, you lose the game. You actually just lose the game. 'cause you,
Yeah,
like,
I mean that's only relevant against like which decks? Like 3?
Level
3 decks?
I've-
Go Chuyusa, which I think will be one of the best decks in the game.
But you don't lose if you do it against Gochi Usa.
Yeah, but Go Chuyusa, I don't know, man. Like the biggest
You
thing
don't
is not
lo-
about the
you
effect;
don't
it's
lose
about that
against
you have a
anything
better hand
if you
fixer.
go out at level 1.
Do you have
But
space for this
you
card?
get
I actually
physical
cannot. I don't have physical space for this card. I don't play green, so I don't see a need to fix for green.
I
Like,
played
what's
3 of this.
What's usually using their counter at level 1 is actually not great. Like, unless they're specifically denying reverse, I don't think it's worth it, because what they do is they have to sack a character. So they open up a slot, and you get an additional stock because you get to replace your card with level 0 from your waiting room.
Yeah, you're always attacking with the card first that you pump it against the decks that you know have the level 1 counters.
Significant tempo loss because you get an additional stock and you get an additional soul because they have to sack something. Unless they sack back row, which is fine for you because they're sacking one of their utilities. I don't think that's why you don't play this. I'm playing this because I really like the ability to grab from everywhere. Being
Yeah.
able to grab from clock is pretty sweet. And being able to take from waiting room with the red support is good. And then just taking out your entire deck with what's his name is also good. I agree that this is not an absolute staple, but it is a very strong card that I think will see play in most decks.
I could see it as like a 1 or 2 of.
How many are you guys running? Like 2
3.
at most?
I'm running 3 because
I'm running
I'm running
3.
Sure.
Fair
Like,
enough.
you're never upset to have this card, really.
That is fair enough.
And it also splashes for green.
Yeah, if you're running green, then yeah, you run 3 or maybe 4 even.
Sure. Yeah, this card is fine.
Yeah. Alright, next card. Haru Okamura, 0015. She's another Brainstorm. So, the thing that differentiates this Brainstorm is 1, it only taps itself. So, Brainstorm, 1 cost, tap this, flip the top 4, every climax, choose a card in your clock and add it to your hand, then clock the top card of your deck. So, it's a very limited Brainstorm. I don't like this profile at all, but it's a Brainstorm that pluses you regardless. So that is what it is. And then it has, when your climax is placed in the climax zone, check the top card of your deck. If it's a Phantom Thief character, choose a character of yours, and that character gains 1k until the end of your opponent's next turn.
That's interesting. Oh, it's because it's a reveal.
In execution.
It's a reveal.
It's really good in execution, yes.
Yeah.
It's like... It's worse than the protagonist brainstorm in a normal build, but it fixes for green if you want to.
The card seems fine. I mean, if you play in a more event-heavy version of the deck, I could see you running some number of these instead. Just because...
Even with all of that, I think this is still only a niche plus card.
I think that's fair.
It's still a plus. Like, it's a plus in Brainstorm, it can't be that bad. But it also doesn't offer very much the other Brainstorm doesn't. Like, that one's even better. That one's even good on defense because of the buff you get with the counter. And this
Well,
one
this is also good on defense because
but you need
power
to play the
stays
climax.
through
This is
the
assuming you
third.
play a climax.
You also need to
give
get
a
lucky.
climax, and you decide what gets the power in advance, which is not actually a huge problem, but it can be. It's less flexible, basically.
It's almost always your climax combo. Like 99% of the time.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I'm still only calling Niche Plus.
I think I can still call it playable,
Playable.
personally.
Are you still running it, or did you cut it out? Because I know you were
I
running
cut
2
it.
and 2.
I've since cut it for like for what did I cut it for? I don't remember what I cut it for. I think it might have been like the third view G. I did a lot of swapping around.
I'm running 2 of the search and 1 of this right now.
I just don't think like the Surge Brainstorm is one that you want to open and you want to mash. Like if you're not opening, like admittedly, like we had this discussion before, and you can't open it turn 2.
You always just want to mash brainstorms.
No, but it's not wrong. Like, why would you not want to mash the most valuable card, like the card that gives you the most value the game has ever made? Like Brainstorm literally gives you the most value out of any card in the game.
I don't
Why would
agree.
you not want to mash that?
I just don't agree with that.
I don't disagree with what he's saying, but I also don't like brainstorming every single turn because sometimes I just want to have more stock, you know.
Yeah, but like in the early game, Persona is like free. Besides
agree.
your 1-2-1.
I think you guys are overselling how free Persona is because it actually spends stock on early play and it spends stock salvaging.
Your early play
So-
costs 1, dude. How is that not free?
I mean,
Because
it's
it's
literally
Wow.
not free.
It
It costs
ends
1.
It ends up you don't actually have enough stock in those free.
You heard it here
Memes.
first, folks. Paying 1 is free.
Dude, in my mind, anything that in my like Penguin 420 logic, as long as you spend less than 3 stock in a turn, that turn was free because you're building.
So
Well,
I'd
it's
like
not
to know
free,
what
but
you're
like it was a
placing
turn of value.
But you're
It wasn't a
losing
turn
the
of
one.
diminishing
You're losing
returns.
the one potential stock you could have had.
No, but like if you think of like when you're building a home, if your rate of building the house decreases on a certain day, it doesn't mean you're not building the home anymore.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you build a home, there's a limit. There's no limit to how much stock you want in Weiss. Like once
There
you've done
actually
the
is
roofing,
48.
There
42
actually is
stock.
like after 20, it's like you kill yourself.
there is no realistic limit because you are not getting to 20 stock without a deck specifically designed to do so.
Shout out to
So in
Mike Chang.
Persona, it's not like well, his stupid deck is stupid. This is not like building a house. Because once you've tiled the roof, once you've waxed the veranda, once you've installed the bathroom fittings, once you've done all that, it's done. You've reached the end. But with stock in Weiss, you're not going to get to the point where you've gotten to the roof and the veranda and the bathroom fittings because you're not getting 25 stock. Like, it is still a cost to not get 3 stock and spend 0. Like, the optimal game is where your opponent draws and passes and you direct attack 3 times every single turn. And anything less than that is unrealistic, but also a cost in comparison.
All right.
I don't know. I think that was a tangent, but I think Persona is more free than Celeste NB is letting it out to be. I actually think the deck builds.
Well, no,
builds
I
stock.
agree with you that Persona is very low stock. Aside from the advanced summon, you don't spend any stock unless, like...
Yeah, but the thing is, you actually spend a lot more stock at level 3 than other decks do.
I
You spend
agree.
9
You
stock at level
you
3.
get to, like... At the very minimum, you have, like, 8 stock at level 3, almost without fail. Like,
Yeah,
your,
but that's like already 1 stock too few. That's the
your
issue.
advanced- That's at the very worst scenario, because even your advanced summon costs 1 stock total.
Yeah,
Every stock you spend, aside before level 2, is for pluses. Every single stock. Look, we've gone on a tangent, that's long enough. We'll move on to the next card. That one is either playable or niche plus, depending on what you want to call it. And we've gotten El Press so bored, he's looking at magic spoilers. Makoto Nijima is... No, sorry. Makoto in swimsuits. 004k. When it comes to play, mill 2 cards. If there's a climax among them, this card taps.
You don't have space for beater, right?
You do in execution, but this is not the beta you want to play. You'd
So
rather play
niche.
either a runner or a... Look, so here's the thing. Unless you really value the mill 2, there is a better beta in this set at common in a more relevant color. And people have overlooked badly because a much worse beta at rare is 3-5. which
Well,
is
actually, only the Japanese have overlooked it. I have always seen the common in the Western list. Also, this is the first swimsuit card that actually wears a swimsuit that we
maybe
see.
because this one has 2X chromosomes and there's something worth seeing in the swimsuit.
Titties.
Yes, that. Anyway, this card
When you just said you have like an image to uphold.
Dude, Tom, why you gotta
Even
say
everybody.
words like that, man? Come on, man.
I don't even sound like you, man. Don't even try.
I don't get why they keep printing this at rare. It's not a rare worthy profile.
To apologize to all, to torture all Evangelion players.
He's not wrong.
If you wanted to torture Evangelion players, you would print this at common.
That's true.
Sure, this is common somewhere. It's something very similar has to be common.
I think
Regardless,
all the iterations that I can remember have this at rare, and I still don't get it.
I
There's a
believe
double
it.
R, right? There's another double R, I think. Isn't there?
Yes, I think in
No, it's just
Isn't it-
Evangelion, right?
No. Doesn't wait. I'll do some research.
Whatever. Let's move on. This is not an interesting card.
Puyo
This is-
Puyo has it at double R.
I moved on.
So does Evangelion.
That feels really.
They're so good.
Alright, Makoto Nijima 1065. If the level of the character opposite this is higher than this card's level, it cannot front attack. This is a role player in every green Persona deck. I think you run 3 to 4 in every green Persona deck.
Synergizes with the Clock Swapper.
I guess it does. It also synergizes with some other cards which are played in those decks. It's fine.
It's playable. It's a beater. It's a level 1 beater.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Boring.
Alright. Next card is All Out Attack, Haru. It's a 2575. Sorry, 2175.
It's
if
a 2/5.
Yeah, I did
Interesting.
say 2/5. So the level 3 is in your clock. The level 3 Haru, then this gains -1 level in your hand, so it becomes a 1175, which is actually above spec, believe it or not. And when Adieu is placed in your climax zone, Adieu being the stock soul, and this is in your front row, stock the top card of your library, and this gains 1/5 until the end of your opponent's next turn.
Isn't it called Adieu?
Sorry? I don't know.
Wait.
I'm not the German here. You tell me.
I'm pretty sure that's French, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's French.
I know it is French. I'm kidding.
But I'm pretty sure saying titties is better than getting a language wrong.
I knew it was French. I messed with the European.
Sure you do, it's French.
Yeah, sure I did. Whatever. Look, this card is played in execution. I don't think it's actually as good as Joker in the Phantom Thief field. Partially because you need to run the I think Stock Soul was a better climax than Wind on the whole, but Joker is so much better than this card at its best that I think this is just straight up not as good.
This card is actually not good, even though you run it in execution, because like the blind stock is so annoying, and like I've talked about this on length and foreign, how this effect is so under spec. Just because of the 1/5 power, like the 1/5 power it gains is definitely relevant, but the fact that you only charge 1 stock and this costs 1 stock to play, and that the 1 stock that you charge is blind, it's like murdering the card and then kicking it while it's down.
But it's pretty big. It's
I mean,
pretty big.
9k is only reasonable unless you have additional back row
That's the
support to
fact
get it
that
bigger.
you're 9k on defense, which is like what makes this acceptable. But like
Oh,
the
wow.
only way we're actually really going plus of this is if you loop the combo.
Yeah. Not to divert from anything, but Penguin, do you remember when I said that the SAO re-edit was going to have a signed Sinon climax?
Oh my god, really?
Well, guess what happened?
Whoa.
It's on foreign, but anyway, let's not fight.
Shit.
And you know what
Wait,
else is?
wait.
The Silica Bomb is now signed, so have fun with that.
Well, I never maxed my deck. I always like my Xenons aren't signed, but I was gonna do that in Japan. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to not do it because they're all jumping in price now.
Have fun with that. Anyway, let's go to the first uncommon.
Wait, Phantom
Saria
Bullet.
Kawakami? Well,
Wait,
actually, what do you do with this card?
Actually, I still want to talk a bit about this. Like
Yeah, you
the reason why like it's fine in execution, like with the blind stock and all, you have like once you play your stock soul, you trigger 5 different abilities, like 6 if you count the climax, because you like check top with the brainstorm, so you see whether you blind stock something, and then you can pay a blind stock out immediately with your Amagi clone. So that helps, and the Amagi clone also helps you go through a deck. And the climax is stock soul, which is fine, and the climax in foil also looks really amazing. Okay,
Hang on,
we can go now.
how do you get Yamagi clone? Yamagi clone is on climax placement.
Yeah, everything is on climax placement.
So you
Would
put
you
your-
really top check before the blind stock? If you're gonna Amagi
Yes.
anyways?
Yes, you top check, and if it's a climax, you blind stock it and pay it out immediately. If it's not a climax, you blind stock it, then you blind stock another one, and then you pay that out with the Amagi.
I mean, sure, that is a neat you can do.
Yeah, you can stack all of these and trigger all of these triggers and trigger them whenever you want. Which is like the only reason why this isn't that terrible.
It's still just a niche card, though, in my mind.
Yeah,
It's
you run
niche,
it in
but
execution
it's
and nothing
niche.
else, and like Haro Waifu.
It goes in execution.
That's still
Yeah.
niche.
Well, true, you're not wrong.
Alright.
I'm not
Princess
sure how
execution is
serious you
actually
are,
fine now.
but
It's actually like a pretty good deck.
I'm not saying it's not. It's just not, I don't think, the main deck.
wouldn't
Yeah.
go that far, but it's fine. Right. Sadio Kawakami, 002K. If you're level 3 or higher, this gains the ability. Start up, put this in the waiting room, choose up to one protagonist and RC and Joker in your hand, and put this in the slot this was in. So older Persona players might recognize this as the old Persona mechanic, where you sack a low-level character, usually at level 0, and play over that character with a bigger character that costs 2. So this was present for Risei, was present for Kanji, and it was present for... Well, the point is, it was present for a bunch of
Yeah, it was present for everybody, I think. But it
yeah,
was
first
just the
extra.
Yukiko that was playable, I think.
I think
The
Risei
Yukiko was a
was
change,
And
and the Risei was
yeah.
playable.
yeah, and Kanji's fine. But point is, this card lets you ignore color requirements, and it's also just a costless heal, basically. I say costless, but you are losing one card.
I mean, but
Which
you're
is like
saving
a-
on the 2 stock instead.
I mean, a card is worth 2 stocks,
Yeah,
so
so-
that's howdy.
It's a wash.
Yeah, I'm
Notably, as it were, you could play it, tap it to the brainstorm, then sack it. If you hit, you actually saved 1 net stock on playing the heal.
A pity that it's completely off trait.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the issue.
that is the issue.
Also, spoilers. She is
Spoilers.
made trait, but no made clothes. I wonder
So-
what that means.
Damn these
I-
spoilers. I'm not
So-
buying the game anymore.
That's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
How unfortunate. Look, this card is niche in the most, like, even though the card it supports is a very mainstream card, a deck focusing purely on that card is nothing but niche, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you could consider it if it were on trait, but unfortunately it's not.
If it was on trade, then sure, but it's not.
Yeah.
Now, the question, would you play this and the protagonist with no other fixing in execution?
No. You have Risei.
No.
Would you even play Reset in the new execution?
I
Is that,
don't.
I don't-
mean,
I don't
if
think
you're not
so.
playing Reset, I don't
I'm
think you're
not
playing
playing
Joker.
it right now. It's like a consideration.
That's why I have a-
Well, there are other cards that necessitate the Phantom Thief trait in the new execution, so
yeah, I mean,
Not
everything.
really. You have like the Almagi that only fetches execution, and that's basically it.
let's the Yamagi.
Yamagi is enough.
You have enough trade. You have like enough on trade that you can play Rise.
But
But
imagine what you do is you hit Rise level 0, Rise level 3, and 2 climaxes.
Nice.
imagine if you're
Minus
playing a
one stock.
and hitting 4 climaxes.
That's significantly less likely.
It's not that much less likely.
I mean, you're spending 4 slots at least on Rise.
Look, I mean, it's not far off, I agree. But I still think it's less likely. Well,
Yeah, sure, it's obviously
statistically,
less
it's not the
likely.
same. It's very, 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 very similar.
Very fringe.
Anyway, I still call it only a niche card.
Yep.
Torinosuke Yoshida. It's a 002K. When this is placed from hand to stage, you may tap 2 characters. This character can be one of them. If so, choose a character. That character gains the ability. When the battle opponent is reversed, you may stock charge 1 from the top of your deck. 1 cost, sack this. Look up to 4 cards from the top of your deck and choose 1 character with protagonist in name and add it to hand. Put the rest in the waiting room.
Is like Protag a real deck still?
It was never not a real deck, but
I'd argue it was never actually a real deck.
well, it was like my best Persona deck that wasn't specifically Yukiko for a long time.
It's also
And
not very hard.
Well, no. I mean, if you disagree, you probably just haven't built it before. But now it's not great anymore.
Yeah, well, it's off trade, so
Yeah.
I mean, this card is fine because it's like an extra stock generator.
I mean,
Mhm.
I
Just
guess if
not-
you want it in execution.
You don't.
I don't think you want this name.
Is this a new trait?
Speech? I think it is.
Yeah, I think it is.
Ash, yo.
Hey.
No Ash memes. This is a no King of Fighters memes allowed zone.
I think we already
Oh,
missed
yeah,
that
I-
train.
I'm sorry, but it's...
You're not
You're
sorry
the
at
you're
all.
the one who linked the 1-1 event before.
Yeah, but the listeners don't know about that, and it'll forever be unknown to the world now. Let's
Anyway.
move on.
Hint: KOF has a way to deal with Reinhardt.
Stop ruining my secret tech.
Oh, man.
All right.
Anyway, Mysterious Pretty Girl Phantom Thief, Haru. It's a 104k. During your turn, all your other Morgana car gain 2k power. 1 cost. When this is placed from hand to stage, you may pay cost. If you do, search your deck for 1 Morgana car. Put it in any slot on the stage and shuffle your deck.
Can you just call it the Magic School Bus?
Come on, the magic school bus.
Just call it the Magic School Bus.
Alright, so this gives your Magic School Buses 2k power, and it stacks. So if you have multiples, your Magic School Buses are huge. And so we'll get to the stupid.
It's
Magic...
also a 1 cost plus for the Magic School Bus.
You're not wrong,
Dude,
but that is negated
the
by the
power
fact
is
that
so relevant. Oh my
when the
god.
Magic School Bus is bounced, you go like
Neg
neg
5.
6 or something
Can
retarded.
you
Well,
have...
you don't.
Wait,
You don't.
Can you,
you
split
don't-
your
You don't
Magic
go into the bus when there's a heavy storm.
Wait, are we talking about her magic school buses or the card?
I'm confused now.
Don't
What?
worry about it. This card is niche, and we'll get to more of it
Uh,
later.
Is there a meme rating? I'd like to give this the meme rating.
No, there's no meme rating.
What? Your
So
Why
I'd
is
program,
there not a meme rating? That seems
your
wrong.
program sucks.
Has anyone tested the bus deck?
No,
Oh.
actually, I haven't. I might. It doesn't seem too bad, to be honest.
And when
I'd
I play test
Okay.
against, I'm gonna purposely stack all my win triggers at the top.
Oh god.
All right.
I just want to point out that you can put the Magic School Bus inside the Magic School Bus, which is a massive flavor fail. If you're playing Magic School Bus deck, you're probably going to have 4 of this Haru and 4 Magic School Bus, which means your first turn at level 1 is probably going to be double Haru, pay 2, double Magic
Some
School
2
Bus,
school
and
buses.
play another Magic School Bus. And then what you have to do is you have to put 1 Haru in the front row, so during your opponent's turn, when they're playing Persona as well, they can't advance notice and bounce your Magic School Bus immediately, because that would be the worst.
You can just. Oh, right. Yeah, that works.
You put it in the back row one.
That's funny.
All right, so
We've gone too far.
this
No,
card
we
is
haven't.
a
We
niche.
could go,
It is
we
a
could go
niche.
farther.
It might be a niche plus, but it's really stupid regardless.
We can go deeper. We can make it
This
better.
card does ignore the red requirement for your Magic School Bus though, so there's that.
I just read the flavor text.
She is the pretty girl Phantom Thief.
Anyways,
Niche. Maybe niche plus. This card is stupid. So is the Magic School Bus. I can't believe they gave us a Magic School Bus set. That's insane.
That was a great show.
Yeah, man. Carlos is my mortal nemesis, actually. I hate
Your
him.
waifu?
Carlos is the worst.
Let's move on.
All-out attack, Makoto, Queen, 1045. Up to once a turn. When you use a startup effect, this gains X power, where X is 500 times the number of your Phantom Thieves, plus Student Council, plus Prosecutor. Prosecutor's relevant because Makoto's, older sister or something is a Prosecutor. And there are some relevant cards for the mono green deck, whatever. When the battle opponent is reversed, if you have Justice is Prevailed in the Climax Zone, which is the bar, choose one of your other characters. That character gains 2/5 and 1 level till the next end of your opponent's turn.
this card is garbage.
I like it.
What?
It's best go.
No.
I think Japan actually plays this.
What?
Oh, damn it.
I think the
Magic
card's good.
Garbage.
I think.
The
Well,
card
I don't
is
think-
fine.
Yeah.
Like, with the counter, after the combo, this is just absurd.
Yeah, it's.
I don't think it's a bad card. It's fine.
Does the bond give it a level?
No, but the combo gives us a level.
Oh,
It gives a level, the bond gives it 1k.
Too
like
bad
the only
it doesn't
issue,
give it a
the only
cost.
issue this has is like the fact that you don't actually get any pluses of the combo. You plus of your field, which is like the same issue as every field-based deck that you don't get to search that much.
But you missed the point where you trigger a bar to get a plus and do it again next turn.
You have
Sure.
If you have a bond, it's a plus in itself, and you love Kisniver. This is Kisniver, so.
But
And
then you play against the mirror, and your Makotos get bounced when you're set.
yeah, I think this card loses the mirror, but okay, my thoughts on this card is I think this card's better than Morgana combo. I actually think so. So
I mean, that's...
Mm,
We're not playing Morgana combo. That's not the comparison point.
yeah,
Let's see. I don't know. My view of things are warped because the only bombs that I ever played with at level 1 have always been cost bombs. It's really weird.
Terraformers has a normal level 1 bomb.
I have never played that bomb. And there are a lot of reasons why.
well, you play roaches, that's why.
Well, there's also that, but mostly because most of my experience with anything bomb related has been Gigant Shooter with level 0 cost 1 bombs. I don't really
This is why we
understand.
keep him on the show, because he has this very, 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 very unique perspective.
I played bad decks and then also 2 Lover.
And index. Alright, let's
Oh,
go
I also
to
play
next-
Index.
This card is fine if you want to go for a wall-based strategy, or if you just really like Makoto and want to go more heavy on green.
You have the free 2k
I think
counter, so
This
that's...
card is better than it looks.
If you want to serve out
But-
justice.
It has the same issues that other wall-based strategies have.
Well, I think you also have the first issue of you need to be able to activate the startup ability on your own turn, which is usually going to cost you
Her
stock.
Bonder has a startup ability.
Is it just a tap
That
ability?
doesn't cost anything.
All right, nice. So that gets it to, assuming you fulfilled it, each
7K.
one gets it to 7k. It's not
That's pre-climax, so it's
So
at least
8K?
8k on attack actually.
9k
And
because of the
the
bonder.
first one is 8k and the others are bigger.
Pretty big.
The others are like 10-5.
That's especially with this kind of thing, you at least want 2. Just the
Yeah,
way
yeah,
the-
you want to feel.
It-
Yeah,
it's
you want to
really
fulfill
bad
this.
if you only have 1 for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You need to fulfill this.
You don't need the full field. You only need 2 to make sure you have at least 2 large
Yeah, but
slots.
you want to fulfill this so that it's actually
Yeah,
really good.
that's true for any wall deck.
agreed.
I'm gonna call it niche plus and move on.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna say base niche personally.
I'm just gonna say playable.
I'm saying playable for sure.
Playable.
Yeah.
Are you playing it in the Phantom Thief deck though?
I'm not playing it, but I think it's an option.
I think it's an option, and it's the second best option.
I don't think it's wrong to say that you want to run this card or like build around this card. It's definitely
It's not the best option. That's why I'm putting it as niche. I mean, here's the thing. I would put Morgana as playable, whereas this card it warps the entire deck around it. That's the thing. Like, you need to play the Bond, you need to play more counters, you want to play on-field supports, whereas with the normal deck, you can just do whatever the hell you want.
Oh, Navi SP dropped. But it's still sold out.
yeah, it did drop.
Navi's just dropping so much, and it's retarded. Next card, Lady of the Phantom Thieves, Haru. 1155, which is actually just the 7/5. Then she's got, during your turn, when the battle opponent is reversed, you may pay the cost by swapping a standing character in the front row of this. If you do, choose a character. That character gains 2k for the turn. I think this is a lot worse than the yellow one, because 2k power, like I said, the point of this is to avoid fighting a really big character. So giving 2k power after reversing something and then swapping something in front kind of runs counter to that. Like,
Doesn't
yeah, you
seem
can give
very
2k.
useful.
You can like give 2k to another one of your characters that was gonna fight a big character and then have a second big character not be fought, but that's still just not that great. At least the Skull gave soul and was costless to begin with. That being said, this is a 7/5, and I've learned never to underestimate just 1175s. They often just sit on the field for a long time against a lot of decks, and that's a lot of value.
Who's shuffling cards?
Yes, that's definitely shuffling cards, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Sorry.
Oh god.
This card is it even niche? I feel like I might call it bad. It doesn't feel like it does anything.
Yeah, I think I'd put it bad too. Like, would you ever run this card?
I run one copy in execution and 2 copies in the mono green deck.
It's a 1175. It's whatever. It's not bad.
Oh,
it's not
yeah, it is a
good.
7/5. Whoops, forgot about that.
I'm gonna up it to niche minus. I don't think I want to play this, but I'm sure you could do something with it.
I think it's fine. It's
I mean, you
it
can
only
set it
goes
to
in those
whatever you
green
want.
decks. It only goes in those green decks, so I'm gonna call it like niche.
Fair enough, niche. I think I'd give it the same.
Yeah.
Sure.
Is there any interaction we're missing with swapping? Because I was trying to think of more, and like I can't think of any besides avoiding a creature.
Can't really think of one. It's just avoiding a thing. It's supposed to be flavor, I'm pretty sure.
Alright.
Okay.
2-1 level assist.
Yep, so 2 on level assist. This is probably the second best of 4 decent level 2 supports. 2 on 5k, champion senpai of the end of the century, whatever that is. Just basic level X, so gives 500 on both 500 times X, where X is the character's level in front on both turns, and it's got 1 cost, discard a character with one of those 3 traits, so Phantom Thief, Student Council, or Prosecutor, from hand to the waiting room. When damage dealt by a direct attacking character is not cancelled, if you have 3 or more other characters with those traits, you may pay that cost. If you do, choose a face-down card in your opponent's memory and put it in clock.
I mean, pay 1, ditch 1, opponent clocks 1 is pretty solid.
Yeah, especially since you don't have to. You don't have to reverse anything.
I mean,
You're also relying. You're
literally
relying
not
on
allowed
something.
to reverse something.
You're relying on something that is far less reliable.
Well, I mean, you can either bounce something with the 1/0 event, which triggers every condition you need here.
Yes, but
That's
the
probably
direct
going to be the
attack-
main one. But you also need a direct
has
attack
to
with a
go
climax, and it needs to connect. So you have a 50-50 chance of getting the 3 damage in. Do you like flipping coins?
in. You also don't have room in your back row for this card, which is unfortunate.
I mean, the effect is fine, but ultimately, I don't think you're very likely to get the effect off, because you only really get 1 chance per turn. If that. Yeah.
I mean, it's very difficult to guarantee that, but I think that by the end of the game, this is definitely the memory interaction you want to have. Not necessarily the one you'll want to put in your deck, but I mean, if you had a choice, you'd pick this one.
But at the end of the game, you're pretty small on your opponent's board, right? On the opponent's side. So sometimes they'll still have a full field, and because it's all 3/2s, you can't even bounce anymore, so you gotta gamble on hitting a win trigger.
You'll have an empty slot because you'll have this 14k that your opponent
Oh,
can't kill.
sure. That's right.
But yeah, I don't think this is a reliable clock kick. I'd rather play just the Makoto. Or I'd rather play the event that gives a character straight up clock kick.
Yeah, those are all fair. I mean, the character itself, I think, is playable, but like level assists are fine. The secondary effect is fine. It's just I think it's a little bit hard to set up.
Level assists aren't as fine because we have so much competition for high levels of back row in this set. Like there's a red one which you probably play in any random given set, but it's worse than a whole 3 different supports in this set, which is like 4 if you count the Rise anti-salvage, which is really dumb. Like really, really dumb. 5 if you count Fox. My god.
Fox is sweet, but there's not enough glasses to support it.
Yeah, you are correct. Look, I'm giving this card a niche because I think it is playable. You can justify it, but I don't think it's good enough to make it into any main deck without feeling too bad.
I think I'm gonna leave it at playable. I think it's fine if you manage to set it up and it works. Like paying 1, ditch 1 to get some extra damage is fine. Unfortunately, I wish it was the same kind of profile as the yellow one, but that would be off color. Not that Bushiroad seems to care about that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else?
Yeah, this is fine. Like, yeah, niche plus whatever. I'm not running this because you don't really have space for this in the back row, but like the effect itself is actually pretty powerful for what it's worth.
Alright. Next card, Sayanijima, is a 00500. She's the Prosecutor. It's got a bond to the 1-0 Makoto Climax combo, and it's got tap this, give a Phantom Thief character 1k for the turn.
So I gave the front half a niche. This card is meant to play with the front half. I'm gonna give this a niche as well.
Mm-hmm.
I gave the front half a playable. I'm gonna give this a playable as well.
Yeah.
Same. Actually, I give this one good, even though the front half is playable. I'm just...
Because it's a bond and paying 1 stock is free.
Yeah, dude. Dude. Building investment.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay.
Playable.
This is also say it's a Prosecutor. It's a 0/0. It dies to Kaiki.
We have to stop saying that. I don't care if it dies to Kaiki. This card is a 3 to 4 of in that specific build. Wait, are we talking about which side?
The next one. The next one.
Okay, sorry, I must have skipped out on something. This card is whatever. Like you have so much competition in these spots. It's not on trait. All it does is sack for a pro tag, which is not even the majority of your cards.
Yeah.
And
if you wanted that effect, you might as well just run like the Teddy, you know?
I mean, Teddy's not an assist, which is kind of relevant.
I guess. But Teddy saves anything.
Yes, that's true.
Or you could run the event. Whatever. This card seems bad. I don't think you have space for this in any build, and it's just far too limited in what you can get.
Like, for whatever reason, it doesn't even help Makoto, which is just not good.
I think I'm going to give this a bad.
Yeah. I think that's reasonable. I don't think you run this in any deck at all.
Alright.
Oh, wait, no. I do put this... I might consider putting this in the old protagonist deck, but that's it.
Yeah.
It fixes for the 1/0 Aegis. That's the real reason.
Eh.
Deal made Haru. It's a 0/0 1k. If you have one or few other characters in the front row, this gains 2k power. And when this attacks, if you have one or few other characters, you may mill one. If it's a level 0 or lower character, put it in any slot in the back row, and that character gains coffee. So you're unnecessarily giving 1k to Ash, which is just
Strictly unplayable.
This what makes this unplayable, yeah. Of
Yep,
course. No,
yep.
this is like I think this is your beat of choice if you want to run a beater that's not fixing for blue.
or not the runner.
I think I actually prefer this over the runner.
Really?
In execution, yeah.
Right, in execution, sure.
What's kind of awkward is that the templating says if you have one or fewer other. So if you actually hit, it goes down to 1k.
No. It's one of your other in front row.
Oh, it's front row. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So it doesn't change.
So you can have 2 in front row, and if you hit one,
Put it in the back row.
then yeah, put it in back row.
Yeah, that seems
But
fine.
then the second one doesn't get to.
Benefit
well,
the power.
Yeah,
ball.
then the second one doesn't get to mill, whatever. You got a
Fine.
3+.
Got value.
Don't complain.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's playable. It's a playable beater. It's a free plus.
I will complain if I hit the Ryuji. That will make me unhappy.
Oh yeah, that only triggers if you play from hand.
But you just plussed, man.
I was gonna trigger it anyway, so I guess I'm not actually unhappy, but I'm kind
You
of.
don't play the
unhappy.
Ryuji in execution anyways, so whatever.
You could force it.
Oh, sure.
I'm-
I'll change it. Would you? I mean, you could play this in the regular Phantom Thief build.
I would.
You could.
I'm trying to I'm only playing 15 zeros right now because I want to cut down for Joker, and 15 is fine.
You're welcome.
I don't think this is worth it in other builds. I think the blue beater is better, but this is fine.
That's fine.
It's like a decent card.
There's actually, I don't know, the plus level on the blue beater has some weird interactions. Your opponent can actually no, it doesn't come up often, but it's on occasion it can keep you at 0. But the only way to do that is to give you a +1, so I guess it's not even worth it.
All right. Next up.
Alright, so next card. Deal made Makoto. 015. Global to Phantom Thieves, 500 power, and tap this. Choose a character. That character gains the ability. When this reverses its battle opponent, you may put the top card of your opponent's clock in the waiting room. If so, put that character into clock.
I mean,
So 2 things. First, this doesn't trigger anti-heal. It's your effect, not your opponent's. And second, you've got better globals. So, look, I want to like this card, and I'm actually playing it in the green deck because it's Makoto. But honestly speaking, I don't think either effect is good enough.
I think I agree.
Like, the clock swap ability is neat against cards that want to go to the waiting room or cards that need to go to memory when on reverse. Like, if you have this card against, say, Railgun's
Index.
Pyro, that card gets completely memed. If you get
Index
this against,
gets Mega Wreck.
Osamatsu.
Osamatsu gets joked on.
Index does get memed on.
Yeah. Quite a number of characters are very unhappy with that effect.
Well, it's
But the
it's hard
majority
to
of the
meme on
time-
Index if they have the Dragon Strike in hand though.
I mean, sure. The majority
But
of
at that point, they're wasting their Dragon Strike just to not they're not even
be-
going plus. They're just going neutral for nothing and a stock.
he's right. I don't think that's actually good.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, this card, we just made it sound a lot better than it will be. In the majority of your games, it won't do anything. You'll randomly kill Jushimatsu's girl, and you'll feel like you're the best player ever. But then in all the other games you play against decks that don't give a damn about this, it'll be an effect you never
Even
use.
against like Osamatsu, right? Like a lot of their game plan sometimes is just search it out and play it the same turn they're gonna combo off.
Yeah.
And there's nothing
Oh,
you can do
yeah.
about that.
That's the thing. That's the thing. They you can't deal with that. So a lot of the
To
time,
be fair, the flaw on this is still a 500 global, so the card is fine. It's just usually not worth an inclusion unless you're building waifu decks or mono green or something.
But why would I don't know. I don't feel like in all these circumstances it's at best niche.
It's a free act.
That
Yeah, you play this with the Bond deck.
Eh.
You could play with the Bond deck.
At best it's still niche. Even in the Bond deck this feels niche.
Fair enough.
Well, the Bond deck would be niche, like the niche, right?
No, but like some of you guys are putting it at playable, and by some of you I mean
No,
Penguin.
I'm not putting it playable.
I'm talking about the Bond,
I'm
not
just saying
this.
like the card is bad. It's just
I'm
like
talking about the
there's-
Bond, not this card. This card is not
Oh.
playable.
Yeah, sure.
So-
This
No,
also runs
no.
counter to your search brainstorm. Like you can't search brainstorm with Yosa play this and
Yeah.
not go next.
You do have the clock brainstorm at least to compensate, I guess, in this
I think we
circumstance.
shouldn't waste as much time on this. So
Oh, you can you can out Yami from getting hand on court. But moving on.
Next card, Decide of Weiss Schwarz. When the damage dealt by this is cancelled, you may put this in your stock. This effect is not good enough for what it does. Like, it's just a very marginal effect that you can't at all guarantee, and it is
it's good on
otherwise...
cards that have another effect. This doesn't.
Sure. This does not have another effect, it is just a 2k, and I'd much rather lose 500 or 1k for an additional effect like being a ditch outlet. As it stands, does not make the cut. I put this as bad.
I think I agree.
Yeah.
Alright.
Next card, Chihaya Mifune, 0015. Oh, that is some rude flavor text. When you use change, choose a character, and that character gains 1k for the turn. Up to once a turn, when you use backup, give a character in battle 1k per turn. 1k for the turn. So this is obviously meant to go with the 1-0 protagonist. I mean, there are some other changes, but not very many. Yeah, so this goes with the 1-0 protagonist that changes into a 7k based on color.
These traits are awful.
I agree.
Also, I think this is the first girl with tarot, right?
No, I'm pretty sure that
Does
what's
Margaret
it
have
called?
tarot?
Gene has
Oh,
tarot.
Gene.
Surely Gene has tarot.
I don't know. I
The girl
couldn't
is
tell you.
cute. Card is
Like,
good.
Stupid series is about tarot cards. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, so is Persona, basically.
Well, Persona's about waifu, VN gameplay, and mediocre. Yeah, like I was right. All of the main characters in Gene have the tarot trait.
Okay, cool. Does,
Alright.
whatever.
This card is. I want to say it's niche. I want to give this card some amount of credit.
I don't think it's even niche.
I do agree, though. I think
the traits are just so awful and it just
This is
doesn't
just
do
a-
anything.
This is no worse than the other untraded characters. This is just a token social link card.
So
It's
she's
still
Chariot,
bad.
right? Chariot's usually
Yeah,
the fortune teller?
it's kind of annoying how they just keep making these token social link cards that don't.
Hey, it's either this or Vanilla's.
Well, I have to be fair. We haven't seen a single vanilla yet. I think.
No.
One-
Which is like,
Well, that's just the
cool.
backup, but yeah.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
I mean, it's still not
Alright.
vanilla. It has text. It does things.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's just-
it's 1500 power lower than the vanilla.
Yep. Alright, next.
I just realized it said it has no vanillas. What the heck? What the heck? Why?
Well, because they need to plug their shitty, flavor cards in.
Well, the TD has a 2-1 vanilla that you can change into.
Oh man, that is some KOF level.
Anyway,
Oh,
next
that's straight up KOF level. I hope you know this.
I do, yeah. It does have vanilla counters, though. Ichiko Oya, 113. Alarm, because they have alarm in this set. If this is on top of your clock, all your protagonists gain the ability. When the battle opponent of this is reversed, look at the top card of your opponent's library and put it either on top of.
This is pretty dank.
Seems real cute.
Unfortunately, if you play it with Joker, then you have to decline the heal, which is pretty shit.
Really dumb.
No.
No,
You
no,
just
no,
have to
no,
be
no.
a
What
god.
happens is you're at 3-4. At the bottom card is this.
Oh, no. Here's something better. You take this as refresh damage.
Yo.
You take it as refresh damage after your first Joker attack.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gonna win. Gonna win.
Yo.
Okay, playing 4 of this in every deck.
Oh shit.
I
The real
also
talk is niche at best. It's actually not a bad payoff for having a lot of pro tags, but I'm not playing it in the P5 deck. I will be playing it in the
protag deck.
stupid old protagonist deck. Like this actually makes the old 2/2 kind of really frightening.
Are you actually talking about the restander?
What? No, I'm talking about the advanced summon.
Oh.
Protag Thanatos.
Oh, sure. I was thinking about a different 2/2 there.
Well, memes are too advanced for me, friend. Look, this card is niche. I'm not giving it anything else.
Yeah.
Moving onward.
Advance notice, 2/1. Event. If there's no face-down card in your opponent's memory, your opponent chooses a card in his hand, blah, 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 since the memory draws up to 1 card. Choose 1 character, and that character gains the ability Clock Kick. Send this card to memory.
Seems like it's fine.
I'm kind of sad this gets sent to memory.
Oh, because you want it. I mean,
Uh,
you could do some. It'd be pretty silly if you could bond it back. Use it,
Yeah.
then bond it back, then
it
Yeah,
seems
bond it
bond it
straight
back
back and give another character Clock Kick for 1.
Yeah.
or give a
Or-
character that has clock kick another clock kick.
exactly.
'cause,
It seems
you know,
fine.
I mean,
I don't think it's as good as the yellow event. Obviously, I think it's as playable.
But since you can bond this event, it's fine to play 1, I think.
I mean, it's still
Yeah.
like you would pay 1, ditch 1 to clock kick sometimes, and that's fine. Like that's a perfectly reasonable thing to do with a card.
Your cards are also just like super. So,
yeah, reversing is in your game plan, so clock kicking extra is
It's
just nice.
I think
Yeah.
it's just playable. It's just not as good as the yellow event.
Right.
Mhm.
Next card. Alien World Navi, 1/0 event. Choose a level 1 or lower character in your clock and put it on any slot on the stage. Put the top card of your library in your clock, and then the character that you put onto stage gains Phantom Thief at a turn.
It seems bad.
It's
There's nothing relevant to put in the field.
I feel like this is meant to be a flavor card than a good card.
Feels that way.
Yeah, you do save 1 stock by using this on a 1/1.
Sure.
But
If there were 1/1s worth running.
you can pull out the 7/5.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can pull out the alarm card.
oh god.
Please no.
Yes.
It's supposed to stay in the clock.
Alright, you guys finish off the dankest card in the set. I'm gonna restart Skype.
Oh, best card meta.
Oh, this card.
We have a problem though. He is hosting the call, isn't he?
No, you are.
Am I?
Pretty sure you are. You called me.
No, but you added people.
Whatever. We'll finish green. It can echo for as much as it wants.
Alright, so just real quick. Black Net Tanaka, 2/1 event. Flavor text. Welcome to the fascinating world, Blacknet Tanaka. If you have no Phantom Thief characters, you cannot play this from your hand. You will send this to memory and draw a card. If there are 2 or more Blacknet Tanakas in your memory, you will then be able to choose a Phantom Thief character in your waiting room and bring it back to your hand. If there are 3 or more Blacknet Tanakas in your memory, search your library for 1 Phantom Thief, reveal it, and add it to your hand. If there are 4 or more in your memory, you may choose a Phantom Thief character in your clock and put it in the waiting room. So it's like accumulated knowledge. And you will do
Yeah.
every single effect preceding it, right? So you'll start by drawing a card. If you play the second one, you will draw a card and you will salvage. If you play the third one, you'll draw a card, you'll salvage, and you'll search. And you play the fourth one, you'll heal, draw a card, salvage, and search. Because of the way the card is ordered, you send the memory first, and then it checks the other text on the way down.
Such a cool card.
How good
I
would
wish
it
this
be
had a
with
ditch 1.
If this was a 1/1, how good would it be?
It would be.
I think this card would be
busted.
playable if it was a 1/1, right? It would be playable.
It's such value. This
Yeah,
would,
it's
if this
so
was a
valid.
1/1,
I
I
feel
would
like-
be more inclined to run the clock swapping event just so I could get our clock swapping
Brainstorm.
Brainstormer, just so I could try to get more copies of this into my hand.
Really?
This card needs a ditch
does-
bonder.
I feel like it would need it. I think
Does the
this card
Shinjiro
needs a
choose
pawn.
a opponent player, or can it target yourself?
Has to be opponent.
Unfortunate.
I mean, if your opponent's playing
They-
Shinji, then
Does he have to? I thought it was a May ability.
it is a May.
Yeah, so unfortunate.
Maybe your opponent is memeing with you. Like this, it would be OP if you had like a ditch bond to it that has like startup to move this back into the waiting room.
This card has some insane value though. You gotta if you can play even 2 of these in a game, it's still insane. But therein
becomes a-
lies the problem.
Problem would be slot commitment.
Yeah, this is not
The
a card
cost.
you do not.
Playing 2 in a game is not even good. Playing 2 in a game is a +1. It's a pay 2 +1. That's not good.
Well, that's fine.
It's fine. That's why Akashi's playable, but like it's not good. It doesn't warrant like 50 slots, right? Deck slots, and you have to play. You have to resolve 2 of these to get even a +1. Yeah, I don't
He's
know.
right. It's not actually a good card because you need 3 before you get any real value.
The dank card.
I don't know. I like these effects. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I've been like a fan of most of these effects, but I don't know.
Would you run this card?
Would I? I probably would. It'd probably be a bad idea, but I probably would.
Dank.
All respect.
I would probably run the full 4.
You have to wear the glasses if you play. It.
I give this card a 4 out of 20.
Let's cut it now before it gets any danker and
I'd-
say adieu.
Adieu.
This is a, yeah, sure. So we'll be back with the next color, which is red.
Yep.
Yep.